Am I the asshole for ruining my boyfriend's favorite hiking trail? My 22F boyfriend, 24M, is an avid outdoorsman. He grew up camping and hiking often. I, on the other hand, did not. I think I went camping once when I was a little kid and sat in my grandma's RV pouting the entire time. My boyfriend and I have now been dating for 6 months, and as our little anniversary present, my boyfriend wanted to take me to his favorite hiking spot. We live in a warmer state, so hiking this time of year isn't abnormal. I was a little nervous about it, but agreed because I definitely see him as the person I'm gonna marry, which means adapting to his lifestyle as well. So we went on a sunrise hike up a mountain that was a little over an hour away from us. The hike was just over 3 miles total and wasn't too difficult for beginners. Before going, my boyfriend gave me the safety rundown and pushed that I drink a ton of water. When we got to the trailhead, I needed to pee slightly and mentioned to my boyfriend finding the bathroom at the beginning of the trailhead, which I believed to be just around this little hill. He brushed it off though and suggested we get going so we don't miss the most beautiful part of the sunrise, so I agreed. During the first half of the hike, my boyfriend kept pushing for me to drink water to the point where I felt like I was gonna throw up, and my bladder was gonna explode. When we got to the best part of the hike, we sat there for a few minutes before I mentioned heading back down because at this point I really needed to find that bathroom. My boyfriend insisted we stay for a few more minutes until I finally dragged him up. Listen, I've never peed outside my entire life. But I must have drank so much water my bladder just couldn't take it. Before we even made it back down, I knew I was about to pee my pants. I kept mentioning it to my boyfriend and he kept comforting me, saying it was okay, saying I can make it. Unfortunately, I could not make it. I apologized profusely but told him I had to duck behind a big rock a little ways off the trailhead to pee or I was going to pee my pants. He was angry, scoffed and huffed as I asked him to stand watch, but instead he just stood by the trail, angry as ever. And to make matters worse, an older couple that was cutting through some of the brush walked right by me, but didn't say anything. So yeah, my boyfriend is understandably furious with me, not only for exposing myself on our hike, but also for rushing our beautiful view. This is his favorite hiking spot and I ruined it. I feel terrible, but I also feel like it was something that I couldn't control. Am I the asshole? TLR peed outside for the first time with my boyfriend on his favorite hiking trail and now he's furious with me because he can't ever go back there. Edit. I will be breaking up with him. Not the asshole. He is being absolutely ridiculous. People pee outside while hiking and camping all the time. He also dismissed you saying you needed to go. This whole situation is a huge red flag. Not the asshole. Why can't he ever go back there? Was he banned for life because nature called while out in nature? Stuff like that happens all the time. If he wanted you to enjoy the hike, he should have made it enjoyable for you. And he also should have taken into consideration when you gotta go. He should have allowed you a minute to go pee prior to going on the trail when you said you had to go the first time. If that wasn't a possibility, when you were up at the sunset viewing spot, and really had to go, he should have helped you find a safe spot to go. Then you would have not been rushed back down. You having basic bodily functions doesn't ruin things. Him being an asshole about your basic bodily functions does however. Not the asshole. He however is the asshole. You told him several times you had to go and also pressured you into drinking more water when you already had to go. Then got mad you couldn't hold it anymore. This is on him. Location flag, 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 location flag. If he is a hiker, then peeing in the forest is a normal thing to him. There must be another reason he was upset. Not the asshole. The only person who ruined the hike is your boyfriend with his insane and insensitive behavior. Not the asshole. Info. Why is it understandable that he's furious? Info. Why didn't you assert yourself and say, "No, I need to pee now," at the trailhead, or, "No, I'm drinking enough water," before you drank to the point of feeling like you'd throw up? Peeing takes like 30 seconds, you weren't going to miss anything. A 3-mile out and back hike is a very, very short hike. If he's this put off by someone needing to pee on an extremely short hike, maybe he's not quite the outdoorsman he thinks he is. Not the asshole. If your boyfriend knew so much about hiking, he would have told you to hydrate prior, pee when you got to the parking lot, and then take sips as needed. There's no reason to be chugging an excessive amount of water on a 3-mile hike. Sounds like he ruined the experience for you more than you did for him. Must have been fun to waddle around with your bladder ready to burst. This is a huge red flag. Don't marry him. You want this unsupportive asshole to hold your hand while you're in labor someday? Am I the asshole for going back on my word and wanting to go back to work? I, 25 female, had my daughter back in October with my husband, 30 male. My husband grew up with his mother being a som while his father worked, and wanted that in our relationship. When I got pregnant I was still WFH majority of the time, so he reluctantly agreed for me to keep working while pregnant. We decided that I'd stay employed for the 6 weeks paid maternity leave then quit. And #X200B. I genuinely thought this was what I wanted, but honestly it's been awful. My husband works in law and has long hours, leaving me alone to handle everything around the house on top of a baby. I felt isolated and overwhelmed and felt like I'd lost my identity. I love being a mum and I love my daughter, but after she's done eating, changing a diaper etc., all she does is sleep. I know that that's what she's supposed to do at that age, but spending hours alone was hard on me. And #X200B. When I handed in my 2 weeks notice my boss didn't want me to leave and offered me an amazing job. I'd work part-time only 2 days, 3 days rotating each week. On top of this I'd only have to go in a couple times a month if needed and would still get partial benefits and a decent pay. I was over the moon. I felt like getting back to work would make me feel more myself. My husband was not pleased at all. He argued that I had agreed to SAH before we got married and when I was pregnant. I was abandoning our daughter and, why aren't we enough for you? I'd dump childcare on his mom or my income would only cover childcare and therefore wasn't worth it. I tried to tell him how I was feeling but he was too upset. He told me that he would have never married me if he knew I didn't want to raise our child and left to his friend's place. He came back 2 days later and only talks to me when it's baby related. It's been like this for nearly 2 weeks and I know that I agreed to this years ago, but am I the asshole for changing my mind? My Mill and Sil told me raising a family was the most important job I had and that it would ruin our family if I didn't. And #X200B. Edit. I wouldn't send my baby to childcare right away. I simply brought it up if this was a permanent thing when she got older if that was a concern. Also I'm not going to leave my husband, we have a child together and I love him. Not the asshole. Wait. So he lectures you about abandoning your kid and hammers the point by abandoning both of you to go to his friend's house? You may as well leave this guy. You're already doing the single parent thing, this way you can do it without an asshole berating you. Not the asshole. Your husband has been brought up in a sexist family, and needs to wake up and smell the coffee. It's not at all uncommon for principal carers to feel isolated, and especially if he's dumped all the house chores on you and is hardly ever home. Not all of us are wired for full-time caring, even if some men and women do find great fulfillment being a stay-at-home parent. Stick to your guns if you already know after 6 weeks that you can't bear to be stuck at home, then this is too important to let drop. And if your husband won't listen, then perhaps you're best out of this 1950s trap. Not the asshole. Your husband is the and a controlling one at that. 1. Doesn't want you to work outside the home even though being a som is clearly not working for you. 2. Doesn't allow your family who live out of state to stay with you. 3. Is in charge of all your finances. 4. Gets his mum and sister to encourage you to do as he wants. 5. Cutting you off. Away for 2 days then no talking for 2 weeks, when you don't toe the party line. You need to assert yourself now or else you will spend the rest of your life bowing to his, and his family's, wants. Lectured you for not wanting to stay at home 24/7 and then runs away pouting for 2 days? That's nice. Not the asshole. If he does not want the baby in childcare, he can stay home the days that you have to go to the office, like a big boy. Not the asshole. This is abusive. Working a few days a week isn't not wanting to raise your child. That's ridiculous. I'd ask your boss if you can keep your full-time position and go down to only having one baby to attend to, the cute one in diapers. NTA, you are allowed to change your mind, you did not take a blood oath. But your husband's actions are concerning. He hasn't spoken to you in 2 weeks? Will he go to counseling with you? NTA, you are human and it's your life too. You can change your mind. Did you explain to husband how overwhelmed with everything you are? It's a compromise since it's a rotating 2/3 day EOW. He has no idea how hard it is because he works long hours. Anyway, your mom or sibling could help sit baby. From your answers to the comments it seems that you are in a toxic relationship. Your husband wants you to devote your entire existence to being a wife and mom. He took over your finances and doesn't want your family to be with you. That is the classic route to isolate your wife so that no one can help her when the abuse starts. Please go back to work, build strong friendships and communicate with your family. He does not get to decide how you spend your life. Am I the asshole for quitting without notice over fake job postings? As of yesterday, I, 31 female, was the marketing coordinator for a real estate agent. Let's call him John, 39 male. He's very successful and recently hired a life coach who gives him weekly goals. Some of them are normal, like, read this book on the cyclical nature of the real estate market. But other times it's shit like, coach says I should take Friday off because sitting is the new smoking. Not the best behavior, but harmless enough. However, John's most recent goal caught me totally by surprise. Last week, John said his coach wanted him to develop his leadership skills. I asked what that entailed, and he gave me a new task: advertise fake job postings. One for every position on our team. John said he wanted 30+ resumes per day, and he'd interview the good ones. I can't overemphasize this enough. There are no job openings on our team. John's coach apparently thinks interviewing real people for fake jobs will make John a better leader. If someone can connect those dots for me, please do, because I don't get it. I asked John if he was serious and pointed out that people are desperate for work right now. His response: Coach says real leaders are always looking for new talent. Reason 1 why I might be the asshole. I couldn't refuse a direct request without getting fired, so I made the job postings, but I didn't list compensation in the hopes that people would see red flags. We got hundreds of resumes, and John interviewed dozens of people. I listened in, and they sounded like real interviews. At no point did John mention we're not currently hiring. One of the interviewees was a young woman who chatted with me while she was waiting, and she said she's a single mother who had to get a last-minute babysitter so she could make the interview. So, not only is she not getting hired for this job, it cost her money to show up. Another was an older man, and when I walked him out, and he asked, "Do you think a fossil like me has any shot?" I almost burst into tears, but fury won out. I told him, "There is no job. I'm sorry they lied to you. This company thinks nothing of wasting your time." He looked shocked and walked away. Someone must have heard me because I got called into John's office, where he proceeded to yell at me. Apparently, he's fine with lying to people's faces but not with people knowing about it. He threatened to fire me, and I said to do it, because I can't go along with this. You're getting people's hopes up for no reason. John argued that the jobs could be real in the future, and it was helping him lead the team, so that made it okay. Reason 2 why I might be the asshole. I quit on the spot, no notice. I have a second job so I'll be okay, but John said to forget about a reference. I've never not given notice before, and I feel bad about that, but I just know John would make me keep bringing him resumes until my last day. Not the asshole, but report him to the board, or some agent. This sounds highly illegal or immoral to say the least. John is using his power to steamroll hundreds of people. Ew. Not the asshole, and if they ask why you do not have a reference or why you left your old job, tell them the truth. I would hire you in a second just based on this incident. Not the asshole. That's horrific. Please report them, take screenshots, gather evidence, something so that you can go to a labor board. That is so disgusting, and I'm so glad you told that older man the truth. Not the asshole. Fuck John and his life coach. There are plenty of ways to gain leadership skills without giving people false hope about jobs that are not real. Not the asshole, and also you kinda solved the problem. There is an actual job opening now. Good on you, op, for having morals. If you can report this guy to the local real estate board. Not the asshole. Hopefully John's life coach has experience in helping people apply for unemployment benefits. I think John is gonna need it. Not the asshole. 2 weeks notice as a courtesy, not a requirement. John's the asshole, as is his life coach. As someone else said, answer truthfully when asked why you left this job. Any decent employer would be horrified at this story. Not the asshole. Name and shame him on Glassdoor. Am I the asshole for banning my girlfriend from my car after she lied about an emergency? My girlfriend, F22, can't drive. She had her dad as her cab driver before, but once we moved in together I M25, started driving her to wherever she wants to go. I work long hours in a stressful field. Many times she's asked me to leave work so I could drive her places. I got in trouble at work cause of it, as it seemed unprofessional of me to just leave work to drive her places. I told her how this had been affecting my job, and she started using public transportation since her dad wasn't available. She's now 3 months pregnant, and she explicitly said that she won't be using public transportation as long as she's pregnant due to her fears of health issues that public transportation could expose the baby to, and told me to be ready for her calls anytime so I could drive her anywhere she wants. I said absolutely not, I have a job that I want to keep it to be able to provide for the baby, and told her unless it's an emergency then I won't leave work just to drive her around. She was pissed and tried to guilt me about how absent and selfish I'm becoming as a father, and basically shamed me for letting her resort to public transportation instead of being worried about her and the baby's health. The issue then died, but few days ago I got a call from her at work at 11 a.m. telling me that she was feeling excruciating pain in her belly and that she was potentially having a miscarriage and wanted me to drive her to the ASAP. I told my boss and he said go. I drove like crazy to get to the apartment complex. I ran upstairs, and once I opened the door I found her sitting on the chair dressed in a casual outfit, makeup on and chewing a gum. She got up talking about how late I was, and I asked what about her horrible pain. Then she said she was fine but told me a little white lie so I could take time off work and drive her to the mall where her girlfriends were, since it was the only way. I lost my ever-loving shit on her and called her immature and irresponsible for thinking this was okay or normal. She argued she knew I was going to say no, so she lied, and I made her lie after showing complete disregard for her and our baby. I told her that from now on out I will not be driving her anywhere in my car no matter what. Never again. Ever. And she called her dad on me, then left. He came over to my parents' house the next day and literally unleashed his nastiness on me, calling me a poss low life to treat his daughter like this and ban her from getting near my car. My family were watching as he said that I was abusing his daughter and called me a fool to think he won't put me in my place once I overstep, and I just have. My uncle had an argument with him and had him leave. One of my family said my girlfriend is my baby's mother and family after all, and I might have overreacted, but I might lose my job now. Am I the asshole? ETA my girlfriend cannot drive for medical reasons and not by choice. Not the asshole. What an unfortunate person you chose to have a baby with, though. Not the asshole. Except maybe to yourself, for getting this woman pregnant. The next 18.5 years of your life are going to suck so bad. Jesus. I would not trade places with you at gunpoint. I would take my chances with the bullet, over your situation. Not the asshole. She's afraid to ride public transit but not afraid to walk around the mall with hundreds of strangers? Also, she needs a job. Jesus Christ, op. There's women you casually date. Then there's women that have the stuff necessary to be a life partner. You just might have mixed those two things up. Not the asshole. She made you think you might lose your child so she could catch a ride to the mall. Not the asshole. Why are you having a child with someone who is a child? She doesn't drive and it seems she doesn't work either. Get the fuck out, now. Why the hell are you with her, seriously? Actually why? Not the asshole. Your girlfriend lied to use you, potentially getting you in trouble at work and causing emotional distress because you thought something happened with her pregnancy. Sorry, but being pregnant doesn't make you too good for public transit. She can still take the bus, train, or get her own license and car, or wait until someone is free to give her a ride.